I used to be like, why y'all think this Levallois cat so cool? Who's Levallois? I'm like, I don't even know who this dude is. And I was like, nah, he is pretty cool though. He got 92.3. All right, so I was like, he's pretty cool. I ain't gonna get mad at it. All right, so boom. Let's get set up. All right. So
I'm gonna try that. What's up?
welcome, brother. Welcome.
Yeah.
So welcome back to the BLI podcast. It's your boy K.Sloan. This is the Light Leadership Series, and I'm here with the homie, K.Sloan legend, native, Levallois. Introduce yourself to the people, man.
Man, what's going on, people, man? My name's Levallois Hamilton. Just glad to be here, man. Especially chilling with the homie Carrie, man. It's been a minute, bro. It's been a minute. So just being able to just see where we are today, man. I'm just glad to be here and just chop it up and give you guys something of value to chew on, and hopefully y'all get something out of this conversation today.
Absolutely. And then just kind of preface things, the Light Leadership Series is our movement to moving towards mindset development, helping youth with careers, finding careers, cultivating careers, and then also developing leadership within our young leaders and all people, man, because we know we all need assistance and guidance at times. So that's what this is serving to be for the community. Mm-hmm. So when kind of getting into it, man, Levallois, like, talk about the story, man. Just like let's get to, because I mean, right now, we talk about what you're doing, then we'll go into your story. Your story's pretty deep. So let's talk about what you're doing right now. What you got going on, coming up soon, things that you're doing.
Yeah, man. So professionally, I work with the city of K.Sloan.
Yeah.
And so I work as a community engagement coordinator. And so doing a lot of big stuff in our downtown area, trying to revitalize that. And so we're bringing a lot of events down there for the family. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. But then on my personal level, man, I'm still doing my music. So I got some projects on the way. A new single that's getting ready to come out pretty soon. And then one of my babies right now is the Free My City organization.
Yes, sir.
And so that's really what I'm most excited about. We started that back in, actually, it was birthed in like 2016, but it really established itself in 2017.
Okay.
And from then we just been kind of moving and just kind of following however God lead us on that. But I'm building an infrastructure. We got a nonprofit, got an LLC for the shirt and merch and all that kind of stuff. But we're really gonna be getting to a lot of the nonprofit work this year, and so I'm really excited about that. I'm looking forward to that this year.
Now, real quick for the business folks out there, right? Uh-huh. What was the beneficial part of having the nonprofit tied to the LLC for y'all? Because I think a lot of my homies, we all business entrepreneurs, so we would love to hear just kind of what your mindset and you guys' mindset behind, doing that was.
So when I first reached out to my lawyer and was like, hey, I want to go ahead and make this thing like final. Like, I want to own this, because when we started doing the Free My City, the hashtag, it started catching on like really quick on the internet.
Right.
And I started seeing how other people would see what we was doing in K.Sloan, and they started hashtagging Free My City, but for their city.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, like, I respect it because people resonate with the message.
Right.
But I was like, I want to own that.
Right.
I don't want to take credit, you know what I'm saying, for my stuff. So, so I knew that I wanted to do quite a few things with Free My City. I knew we had like the shirts, the t-shirts, the merch, the brand, just, there's a whole lifestyle look and stuff with that. And I wanted that to be profitable. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, I was like, we're going to need the LLC. But I also know that the heart of what I wanted to do was the nonprofit work, which is working with artists, developing young artists, working with at-risk kids and teaching them about the music business as well. So we started the nonprofit first, but then I went ahead and did the LLC because, when you do a nonprofit, even though the idea comes from you, you birthed it, you don't really own it, because it's ran by a board. And so, which is very important to make sure you got the right board members, because there are a lot of situations where you, the creator, you start this nonprofit, you get your board, they don't like you, and they get you out of there, and then they bring somebody else in, and they run off, and what you started, you lose that vision.
No longer part of
it. And so I was talking with the lawyer, kind of getting that consulted, and I was like, I don't want that to happen.
Right.
And so I created the LLC to kind of be an arm for that. So no matter what, I'm going to own free my city. So
Right.
So if someone was to be like, oh, we keep, whatever, which probably never gonna happen.
Right.
But if something like that was to happen, they wouldn't have a lot of leverage because it's still tied to my LLC.
Absolutely.
So that was my thought. It was ownership. I wanted to have ownership, and then I also wanted to separate, something. I wanted the LLC to be profitable, and I wanted the outreach to be its own thing, to where I have a lot more freedom to incorporate, development and all that kind of stuff.
And that leverage is big there. That's what I heard with that. That's all leverage because you're protected. It's all protected.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And then, so okay, boom. So that's what you got going on right now. And then the project, right?
Yeah.
We do this. So I've done this before, bro.
Okay.
And I would love if you could do this. Give us a verse.
Oh man.
Give us a verse off the project. Just give us a little bit of heat. Just give us a little bit.
It's funny. It's so it's a single, and man, it's so fresh, bro. I don't even think I remember.
Bro, it's all good. It's all good.
This may be the first time I actually don't have.
Hey, bro, it's all good. It's all good. I just want to know if we can get some heat, a little bit of heat.
Man, y'all gotta wait, bro. I'm
gotta
wait. Y'all like that. Y'all gotta wait, man.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I gotta ask though. But you know what? Y'all go download it.
Yeah, y'all go
because we can download that on.
It's gonna be Spotify, wherever you like to get your music from.
Yeah. We don't have to get the people a little snippet or something though.
Okay.
We need that.
Yeah.
But doubling back though, I mean, you talked about a little bit about the at-risk students, right? Because you feel like those are the ones I'm assuming that you can resonate with.
Yeah.
You talking about Free My City.
Yeah.
Talk about why Free My City. Why are we trying to free the city? What are we freeing the city from right now? What that movement really means.
Yeah. So when that name came about, first of all, it was through a song that I did. And the song was on my album called Under Construction, and the song was called Free My City. Originally, the song was called Praying for the City, but I had a homeboy that dropped a song called Praying for the City, so I was like, I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? So I was like,
double up on it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna double up, so I was like, I'm gonna find a different name, for it, and I called it Free My City because the message of what I was talking about was all about liberation. I was thinking about Moses and how he went to the Pharaoh and was like, let my people go. You know what I'm saying? Because they had been in bondage for 400 years. And so it was kind of that same mindset of like going into a system, going into a society and exposing, the issues that we're dealing with. And so I called the song Free My City. And honestly, so simple, bro. I thought about how like, in the streets in society and hip hop culture, man, when a homie get down in the pen, it's always free him.
Yep.
Free J-Dog, free this, free that.
Yeah.
And basically what people are saying when they're declaring that is that they want to see that person no longer be confined by the situation or being behind bars. They want to see them out.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I'm gonna take that same concept for freeing the individual that's being confined, and I'm gonna make that for a whole entire city. Because I believe that as far as spirituality goes, man, like I believe that a city can be in bondage. Like
absolutely.
A whole entire city can be
under siege.
Under siege, exactly. And if you think about it, if you think about every city that we have in America, every city is known for something. Every city has a strong man. Every city has something that they're known for.
Yep.
And that will tell you a lot about what's operating in that city. And so I called it Free My City, man. And what we're trying to do is, we're using our music and we're using the genre of hip hop to basically give a liberating message. Because it starts here. Liberation starts here.
Absolutely.
It starts in your mind. It starts with what you feed in yourself, and everybody listens to music. You'll be surprised like how many professional people listen to some of the most ratchet music.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, my doctor was like that. Like I remember when I was getting my surgery, he was listening to like Snoop Dogg, like cussing and all this, and I was like, man, I was like,
yeah.
But everybody listening.
Exactly. So everybody is attracted to the genre of hip hop. Hip hop is the most dominating genre that there is right now, man, and it's a billion-dollar industry.
Absolutely.
And it's the thing that captivates the youth the most. Now, another thing with the music thing out here in Killeen specifically, bro, is that a lot of people that's been in Killeen, prior to me, will tell you that a lot of the different neighborhoods and how everything is kind of broken up to 4-1, 4-3 and all that. Bro, a lot of that started with music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which a lot of people don't know that, but a lot of that started with music. And you see how the different factions and how that thing has progressed throughout the generations.
Right.
And so music is powerful, bro. So what we wanted to do basically was kind of create a counterculture through Free My City with hip hop, where we're taking artists that have been there, done that, and basically using that music, their stories and their testimonies to help outreach and grab other listeners and youth and getting that message. Now, it ain't all preachy. You know, we got songs that you just gonna vibe to.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We artists, so we're
creating,
but we're being intentional too about our message. You know.
So are y'all operating like as a label as well, like in regards to like signing artists, or is it just like kind of bringing them on and just to kind of move with the movement? Just like I mean, out of curiosity, because it sounds like y'all could easily move into that.
I could, and that's funny, man. Cause we actually have had conversations about that because all of my guys are independent artists and got their own thing going on, but we got a brotherhood, and so it just naturally, it just organic. But I think in the future. I think in the near future, I can probably see myself doing something like that, but it would be very untraditional, because the way the industry's going right now, the whole label setup and structure, I think, is going to one day be obsolete, at least for independent artists, because independent artists right now don't really need labels.
No, they don't.
I mean, they give you money. You know, it's just like going to a bank and getting that money. You getting that advance, that's gonna take care of your albums, your touring, and all that kind of stuff. But you gotta be able to pay that stuff back, and then generate profit on top of that. And so for a lot of independent artists, they're like, man, we can grind this thing out. We don't need the distribution like we used to. We can literally go through
social media,
TuneCore, and all these other places where you signed up, pay a subscription a year, and get yourself on all platforms. So it's a lot of stuff that technology has done for the music industry, exactly, where you don't necessarily need a label. But however, areas where support is still needed for artists is things like studios and videographers and photographers and graphic designers and producers, and still artist development, which is a long lost art in the music industry. There's not a whole lot of artist development going on. It's pretty much like, oh, you got a viral song right now? Bet, let me sign you real quick so we can capitalize on all that revenue that's gonna come in, and then we gonna shelf you after that. You know,
now you owe me,
and then
now I make money on the back end too.
Exactly. So yeah, man. I think maybe in the future, man, it'll probably move to something like that. But it would, like I said, it'd be very untraditional.
I see it though. I feel that energy going with that. I feel that energy going with that. And then I mean, I kind of want to get, you talked about mindset a little bit, right? Let's kind of dive into that. Like, what's the mindset? What's gotten you to be this man that we see right now? Because, when you talk about the type of work you're trying to do through your music, through the message you're trying to spread throughout our city, through the struggles we've had, like, what gets you there? Because I know a lot of times I talk to people and they always ask me, like, man, what makes your heart like that? What makes you really want to help people? Like, what makes you kind of want to feed people? Because a lot of times our culture is like, hey, get yours. Go get yours. Make sure you're good. But when you're talking about doing for others, it tends to be something that people struggle with at times, but I think it's a little bit easier when you got something to pull from. Right? You got a reservoir of pain almost. So can you speak to that a little bit? Like where have we come from in that origin? So
man, for me, it definitely starts, a lot of that drive comes from my relationship with God. That's the first thing. It comes from having a radical encounter with God, and I can write a whole book about the stuff I've experienced. But it comes from having a radical experience with God that I know to be so real and to be so tangible. I'm talking about tangible experiences with God. And then realizing that God has a specific purpose for my life. And realizing that the gifts that he gave me don't belong to me. It's for me to serve. And so when I first started doing music, like we talked about, middle school and all that, bro, I was doing music back then. My whole goal was, it was just me. It was about me. I'm talking about me, how good I feel I am, and what I'm saying, and finessing and all that. And it was just about being rich, being famous, having a lot of money, having a lot of girls. That was just, I gotta make it. I want to blow up. But when I had that radical encounter with God, and I realized that God had a bigger call on my life than what I thought I wanted to do, I became addicted and kind of consumed with purpose, and that's just what I begin to focus on. Is that okay? So if God created me for a purpose, then that means every time that I spend on this earth, I'm gonna have to give an account for it.
Yep.
Either whatever I'm doing, every decision I make, who I choose to hang around, it's either gonna get me closer to purpose or distract me from purpose. And so I just really kind of bunkered down on how can I use my gifts and my talents to serve in a way that's pleasing to God, but also in a way that effectively helps people. And the best way to do that was to start telling my story. Because when I first started doing the music, bro, and I had that radical encounter with God, if you go back and listen to a lot of my music, it was still dope, but it was very, I was regurgitating a lot of the stuff I was learning in my faith. And so it could have came out very preachy. I wasn't really digging deep, you know what I'm saying, from my story. And
just taking it here and here.
Yeah, I would just kind of, exactly, bro. I was like, shoot, I learned that in church. Oh, shoot, that's jumping to make a song like that. And then boom. But then I started realizing, like, the stuff I'm rapping about, I'm struggling to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then I started slipping and falling in areas of my life, and it humbled me. And I said, man, like, the best way to do this is just to be real about the process.
Yes.
So then I started doing that. I started pulling from my life, telling my story, talking about my upbringing, talking about a side of me people didn't even know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Only people that was close to me in those circles knew. And I started talking about those things, and that's when I really started to connect with my audience.
Bro, that's crazy you say that.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I had that experience like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I had the exact same experience, and I think I'm early in the kind of podcasting space, but it was like I had to kind of go down and go 3 levels deep with my understanding. Like, just because I know it doesn't mean it's like sat down in my spirit yet. Because you got to turn it down there and turn it over as a creator and be like, what is this? Like, what is this really? Then you got to listen to God.
Yeah.
Then you got to go ghost a little bit so you can hear it.
Exactly.
And then you bring it back. So I totally understand. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I began to just really hunker down on how can I use my art to impact people. How can I use it to impact? I want it to be something people can feel, something that when people listen to it, it feels like it's talking directly to you.
Right.
So when I go in the studio, you know, I just start talking about it. And it's funny because when I first started doing them, you know, make that radical change, I was focused on being a Christian rapper. You know, so all of my songs were intentionally like, I'm about to point you to Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not to say that it's still not like that, but over time, and I begin to mature in my walk and relationship with God and how I approach it and express my faith, I just begin to find freedom in the fact that every time I go in the studio, God's not putting pressure on me to be like, hey, make sure you throw a scripture in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I felt liberated to just be honest and talk about life. And so I talk about relationships, man. I talk about what's going on in our neighborhoods. I got songs encouraging people to vote.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just using my gifts and my talents to push our community forward, to push our listeners forward, and then also help people to start thinking about purpose. Like, think about purpose. At the end of it all, I think that's the message I want people to think about when they hear my music is, man, like, what's my purpose? And whatever that is, I need to go find that. And I need to develop that. I need to seek that, get consumed with that. Because that's only really, when you get consumed with purpose, you ain't got to worry about legacy. You ain't got to worry about trying to build a legacy. All you got to do is just get lost in purpose.
Yeah.
Legacy and purpose is tied together.
Right.
So your job is to fulfill purpose, work purpose.
Right.
And while you doing that, legacy going, like right now, man, like, you know, I get people that come to me and be like, man, like, I appreciate all that you're doing. And they start reminding me of stuff I done in the community. I'm like, bro, I ain't even think about none of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm focused on what's in front of me. I'm trying to tackle this. But it just goes to show, like, God's like, yeah, see, while you doing that, legacy is also being built at the same time.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Your obedience.
Yeah.
Your obedience to that purpose.
Exactly.
I was listening to somebody talk about that. They were saying, like, the biggest issue that people have is the fact that they don't have a purpose. You know, a lot of times you go down roads that you don't necessarily want to go down, but it's because that you don't necessarily see what you really want from your life. You don't see what God really wants for you from your life. You don't see it, so you end up taking, you know, opportunities, going different routes that aren't consistent with your values, with your morals. So we talking about that purpose. If I fixate myself on purpose, then everything else will kind of fall
Yeah.
where it's supposed to fall.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people will be grateful that you came into their space. You know, it'd be
Yeah.
like your environment will start to like look like what you
Yeah.
believe for your life. You know what I'm
And
saying?
here's another thing too about purpose, that it doesn't come easy.
Nah.
You know, pursuing purpose,
Yep.
once you realize, I think the most dangerous individual in the world is the one who has really hunkered down on their purpose. You are the reason why I say you're the most dangerous individual. You're dangerous to the adversary, the one that doesn't want to see you fulfill and be all who you're supposed to be.
Right.
I heard someone say that the richest place in earth is the graveyard, because it's full of people that didn't fulfill purpose. It's full of potentials and ideas and possible cures for cancers, and you know, so many world changers that never reached their full potential because that purpose was never unlocked. So they went to the grave with them. And so that's why I say the most intimidating individual is somebody that's walking in purpose and they know what it is. But it's not easy. It's not easy, man. And I ain't trying to give a whole lot of Bible on here, man, but it just came to me. So I think about how God had promised the Israelites about the promised land. Like, man, like, y'all got a promised land. It belongs to you. I intend for you guys to possess it. It's yours. So that's the purpose. You need to be in the promised land because it belongs to you.
Right.
But at the same time, they had to fight doubt. They had to go through the wilderness. They had to go through all this stuff, you know what I'm saying, to get there. And guess what? Some of them didn't.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's just the reality of life. So just because you know what your purpose is, doesn't always mean it's gonna be fulfilled, and you're gonna get there. You gotta fight for it.
Right.
You know,
it's a journey.
It is definitely a journey.
It's a journey, and I think that's something that a lot of people need to know, and that's something that we gotta constantly tell one another.
Yeah.
You know, is that it's gonna have those ebbs and flows. Like you gotta go a lot of different routes with it, but if you fixate yourself on purpose, then you know there's a chance that you can continue to move forward where you're supposed to go.
Yeah.
And man, that's fulfilling, bro.
Yeah.
Like when you really have those moments where you know, like it'll be that freeze frame. You're like freeze frame, like, man, that's it.
Yeah.
And then you know you can't stop.
Yeah, it's
like
real, man.
You feel it, but you know you can't stop because it's only a moment in time. So you're like, okay, I gotta keep moving this way. That's how I know.
And there's more than one.
Yeah,
There's more than one that I discovered. It's like, I feel like we all have our overall purpose, you know, in life, but then there's little seasonal purposes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That you come across. You know what I'm saying? Like this, to me, this is like a purpose moment right here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And one thing I learned, I heard somebody else say it, but I find it to be true, is that when God gets ready to shift your season, He always connect you to new people.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You'll meet somebody new, or you'll get connected to somebody, or get reconnected with somebody.
Right.
And a lot of times you can always locate and pinpoint, like, man, like I'm coming on a shift. You know what I'm saying? And so it's always little purposes.
Absolutely.
Little steps that you find that lead you to the big thing.
Absolutely. I think that's it. That's it. And then so when talking about that, right? I love that you're talking about purpose. We talked a little bit about, you know, the origin of, you know, everything that you're developing up to this point.
Yeah.
But let's say, right, we wanna help out that person out there that's, you know, you previously in your lifestyle, right? And wherever you were before you become this man you are today.
Yeah.
How could you help expedite, speed up that process for that young man or that young woman in that mindset that's like, you know, not necessarily all the way developed where you are right now?
Yeah.
What would you tell them as like something to take with them to unlock that light within them and be able to kind of start to live a life worth what it is now for you in your mindset?
I would say you gotta face your darkness.
For sure.
You gotta face your darkness. You gotta face the things in your life that you don't like, the things that's holding you back, the things that's hurting you. You gotta be honest with yourself and where you are. You know, if you're at a place in your life where you're unhappy and you don't know exactly what it is you want to do with your life, or you got some anger towards some person or how you grew up, and like, you gotta deal with those things.
Gotcha.
And I would start there because, you know, with my journey, before I could even do what I'm doing and do it out of a pure heart, like, I mean, man, you can't be no servant leader or selfless leader and lead through that unforgiveness and that anger and that bitterness and all that darkness that keep you from being able to be pure in your in your intentions, you know. So I had to deal with that stuff first because I probably would have never got to a place where I could, you know, serve. And I ain't perfect now, you know. So you still gonna have stuff that's gonna come along. But
absolutely.
I would say to that person that's like, man, how do I get from point A to B?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I would say, well, in point A, really do a thorough assessment on your life. You know, you gotta learn you. You gotta know you. You know what I'm saying? Because your invisible enemies and your physical haters, they know you. They know your potential. That's why they hate on you because they see what you can do.
Right.
And you know, there's people that benefit off of you being in that dark place because as long as you don't tap into your potential, I can continue to shine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the moment you get loose and realize who you really are, you gonna probably compete. You know what I'm saying? And you may outshine me because what you got is greater than what I got on me.
Right.
Because what yours coming from a real place. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times you gonna face that. You gonna face those insecurities. You just gotta be honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Be honest with yourself. Reassess where you are. And surround yourself around people that's gonna be honest with you and help you to locate your blind spots. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get people that can locate them blind spots.
That's a bar right there, bro.
Yeah,
that's a bar right there, bro. That's you speaking now.
Yeah, but it's real. It's real. You gotta have people like that, man. Because the crazy part about it is nobody fulfills their purpose by themselves.
Yep.
God gives you the purpose. He assigns it to you individually, but you don't fulfill it by yourself.
Nope.
Even Jesus didn't get to the cross by himself.
Yep. That's true.
Martin Luther King didn't do what he did by himself. He had other activist leaders working with him. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, you know, you can't do it by yourself. So you got to find people that have that same tenacity and that same resilience, you know. That's another word I would throw out there for people that's in that place of, you know, starting to get from A to B is become familiar with that word being resilient because you're going to need it.
You're going to need it.
You're going to be able, you have to be able to bounce back.
It's a requirement.
You got to. And the only way you're going to get that resilience, man, is by, man, like I say, dealing with that darkness in your life, but then also you just got to be hungry.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to want it. You have to want that potential, like what you see yourself becoming more than where you are right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That resiliency is definitely something I laid my hat on throughout my lifestyle. It's the only thing that got me here. It's just like seeing every day as a new day. Yeah. Because yesterday is gone. And tomorrow I'm building for right now. Yeah. So it's like I feel you on that because that's something that, you know, sometimes when if we get into a spot where we're struggling and we can't move, it's because we see it all as the same thing. Yeah. It's like I've been here before. Right. Here this go again. Yeah. But it's not that though. Because like you were saying, you know, seasons require different purposes. Seasons require different effort levels, different focus, different language, different people. So it's like I'm hearing you. I'm like, that's it. That's exactly what they need, and that's what we need as well with one another. Is just to be able to have a group, have that love being perpetuated throughout our lifestyle. Not that fear, because that fear is that insecurity. It is. That's that insecurity. That's that stuff that you didn't really want to face. Those what my partner call it. He say. The monster you put in the closet, you try to hide him away, and then you try to show the world something, but you got him in the closet, you think he'll never come out. Yeah, man. It's like when you put all them clothes up in there, you think mom ain't gonna go in there. Right. That closet gonna get opened up. She gonna find it. She gonna find it all. It's gonna fall out. Yeah. And now you have to address it. You gotta actually go on piece by piece, figure out. Yeah. What does this all mean? Where does this go? Put it in the right spot. That's a bar too. That's a bar too. I heard a bar in there too. Yeah. Hey, I'm trying to be like you, bro. You said, look, I tell how my mind is where you was like clothes, pulling out closet, addressing. I was like, I said, oh, that's kind of a bar. Hey, right man, I'm trying to get like you, bro. I'm trying to get like you. That was pretty good. No, bro, but on some real though, it's like I really just wish that we have more forums like this with people that's like-minded because you know how it is, man. Yeah. When we out here in this everyday lifestyle and our culture is driven by entertainment
Yeah.
and sports, as we was talking about before. You know,
Yeah.
just the stuff that can grasp your attention real quick,
Yeah.
stimulate you, and then lead you
there.
there.
It's like fireworks.
Yeah, like fireworks. There you go. Like,
Yeah.
you know, bright lights and all that. And it's
Yeah.
like, you know, we want to be able to still enjoy that stuff. Like, you
Mhm.
want to be able to enjoy entertainment and all
Yeah.
that, but you want to be able to be fed as well.
Right.
You know, because
Yeah.
we gotta still eat. Like, I can't just stimulate myself and escape all the time.
Right.
Life is what it is,
Yeah,
and I have to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you coming on the platform, bro. Real talk.
Man. I appreciate the invite, bro.
Yeah, bro. We're gonna do it again. We definitely gonna do it again because you know, my brothers, when we come together, bro, that's all it is. Just love and, you know, just trying to be able to like just perpetuate that good stuff, man. The good vibes. That's why it's be a light, bro.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Sir.
And Fremont City, man, let us know where we can follow you.
Okay.
Let us know where we can buy merch. Let us know like all that stuff, man. Just let the people know.
Cool. So the Fremont City website is under construction right now.
No, keep it real. Keep it real.
We building it up right now, man. But it will be LevalloisHamilton.com, and then once we launch it, you would go to FremontCityOutreach.org. But for right now, you can follow me on social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I don't really be on TikTok, but I'm on all the social platforms. But I'm probably the most active on my IG and my Facebook page. Yeah. And that's just Levallois Hamilton. So that's LeVallois Hamilton.
Okay. And the man got bars, so y'all need to go and follow the man. He got the bars on deck. Man, I didn't want to give us done today, but he got them. I promise.
Yeah, man. Y'all gotta go. I gotta go stream it. You know what I'm saying?
And then, you know what I'm saying, Levallois is my book right here.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
show the people real quick. Blessed to have received the offer from. It is a success manual for student athletes trying to get to the next level. So if you know anybody trying to get to the next level, youngsters, trying to get some information, I put it in there, bro.
That's good. Hey, congrats on that, man.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was man. Me and Guy was talking about it for about 2 or 3 years, and I was just like,
gotta do it.
Gotta do it. So I pulled the trigger, and you know, it's definitely getting going right now. So Amazon, Walmart, Xlibris.com is my publisher.
Yeah.
So man,
that's good, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. We doing things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love it, man.
Absolutely.
I look back and I'm like, bro, like man, we don't came a long way, man.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
So
and we still going.
Yeah, still going.
We still going.
Still going.
So
bro,
appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man.
Love.
Yeah.
Hey, and y'all be light. So.